All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today? Can Norm hear me or? Good morning, guys. All right. Let me just tag Norm, make sure he can hear us okay.
Morning, buddy.
Hey, good morning. Now I hear you. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. All right, excellent. Great day yesterday, guys. A lot going on. We had tons of stocks that were moving well and tons of stocks that you could have picked from. So hopefully you were able to take advantage of what the market has been providing to us over the last couple of days. So again, just looking quickly at this spy chart, we do have a couple of nice long bars here the last 4 or 5 days. So we'll get into that in a second. But looking at the market gappers list this morning, we have quite a few in the green and more in the red. Again, a very nice short list compared to what we've been seeing over the last couple of days. So markets are pretty much flat right at this moment. So I think that's causing a lot of these stocks to just kind of hang out for a bit and not do all that much. But they do have volume. So for example, I'm not seeing, I'll give you an example right now. United Airlines is not on here. But if you look at United Airlines chart at the moment, they have some pretty good volume. They have 768. So they're pretty much flat under that 2%, which is causing it not to be on our list. This is the reason why this gappers list, I think, looks a little bit smaller this morning. But for the most part, we'll look through what's gapping up, what's gapping down, and see if there's any catalyst that we can take advantage of this morning. Norm, let's get into the market pulse of what's going on there and give us the latest and greatest.
Yeah, not huge. I woke up earlier. Futures were actually pretty high overnight on a gap up. They sold off a little bit close to yesterday's close. They've come back just over 0.5% up this morning on decent volume. The SPY itself is at 1.6 million shares. So we're right at the 315 level that a few of the mods, including I know Jared has pointed it out, kind of a interesting level to keep an eye on. If we can hold there, if we can go higher from there, maybe test all-time highs up around 339-ish. So we shall see. As you mentioned, the gappers are a little weird this morning, frankly. There's a bunch of stuff on there because of secondary offerings. There's a couple of other things we'll dig into in a minute, but it's a lot of low floats. So I don't know. Today might be a little bit of a strange day. As far as the economic data, yesterday, man, I mentioned how much info we had coming out and Jerome Powell testifying. Retail sales just absolutely killed it. Jerome Powell testified for much of the morning. It was interesting to watch the market during that period. And then this morning, housing starts came out just a few minutes ago. I have not yet seen the number. Actually, right there, 974. So a little bit lower than expected. Building permits were a little bit lower than expected as well. And then Jerome Powell testify again today at noon. So all that stuff's there. The second day of testimony, I don't really expect any craziness. Can always happen, but usually it's just kind of mundane, and he's gotten everything he's going to say out on that first day. So.
Yep. Thank you for that. So let's get into it, guys. I agree with you on this gappers list. Looking at it a little bit closely now, it's a lot of low flow stuff on here, and again, just not sure how this day is going to play out. It could be one of those days where it could be tough to get going one direction or the other, with the SPY being fairly flat right now for the most part. Let's make some room over here, guys, and see what we got going on. Let's start with what's gapping up this morning. So let's take a look at IMTE. Again, this is 1.2 million shares float, guys. For the last couple of days, it's been kind of hovering around this $354 mark. Today, they have a nice little pop of 57%. Again, 198,000 shares. A little bit low for my liking, but nevertheless, you never know with these low flow stocks, right? They could start off like this and be explosive, and you could take some good opportunities on it. I'm going to add this one for now to be part of the low flow team down here. But again, for the most part, not something we really focus on. And me personally, I really don't watch these as well. Here's NTN, another one that had a big day yesterday, guys, breaking out of 150 all the way up to 450 this morning, gapping up 26%, 1.7 million shares traded. Now, this is the type of volume that I would like to see if I was to trade
its entire float, man.
Yeah. No, it's not saying that it's great. But if you are going to trade these, this is the type of value in pre-market you want to see. Now, 2.3 million shares traded float and already traded 1.7 is scary. Again, we don't focus on these type of stocks, but if you do and you have some experience on it, this is definitely one that's active today. Had a big day yesterday, a possible continuation today. Again, sometimes these low flow stocks don't have a catalyst behind it, which is the most scarier part. They just start moving just a momentum and volume, which to me is pretty scary. So I'm not sure if that's the case with NTN, bust time, whatever this company is, but just do your research, make sure that if you are going to trade this, you have some good strategy and an edge to be able to trade this successfully. Now, here's NKLA. Now, this is one that is almost treated like a low flow. It is not. It's 198 million, at least in trade ideas. I think Finbiz has some funky numbers as well, Norm, if I remember. We were looking at that. But for the most part, guys, this one is been very active over the last couple of days. Right now, 282,000 shares traded. It is up 4.4 right now with a decent pre-market activity. So this could be worth watching. Let's take a look at how it traded yesterday. I did not keep it on my list. We had so much great stuff to watch yesterday. This one definitely did not make it, but you can see here some good rejections of the VWAP and the moving average. It became a beautiful short about 20 minutes into the market. Nice drop here. I'm sure the SPY probably helped with this a little bit. Who knows? But overall, some pretty good drop here on NKLA. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one because I know a lot of people are watching this one. We'll do some levels for it, but not going to make my final list, but we'll definitely take a look at it. Go ahead.
One thing to mention on that real quick. So there are shares for short, not many, 55,000 on IB, which isn't a whole lot. A couple articles in the last couple of days have talked about how the cost of borrow shares on NKLA have skyrocketed. That short interest is piling up in this stock, even though it's newish. So I don't have a number here, but it's bringing back memories of Tesla, man. When, and I'm not saying the same thing's going to happen, but same kind of business, shorts piling into Tesla and then just got annihilated. So yeah, it could be interesting to watch.
Yeah, and this one does have a catalyst behind it, right? So it's slightly different than these other stocks, that just start breaking out with no news behind it. This one does, which again, if the news is strong enough, it could be powerful. And I agree with you. If you are heavy on a short here, like what happened to Tesla. Tesla had no business doing what it did last time it ran up to 900 that first time, but it did that aggressively because people were stuck short. Many people believe that they did not deserve to be at that level, but sometimes it's not what you think, right? It's what the price and action is showing you.
And Cowen also came in and started their rating at an outperform on it, talking about some intellectual property and patents they have. So
Yep. All right, guys, let's take a look at what we have here. FMCI this morning. This one also on this list, they're gapping up 3.6, 227. Now, these guys were active yesterday. I remember someone mentioning in the chat room they had a nice little pop here towards the close on the power hour, and then continue some of that into the close. So I'm not sure what kind of news broke out here yesterday. For the most part, they are very active, slightly above that 20 million shares float that we like to see, sitting at right at 21. So again, worth taking a look at to see what kind of action we're going to get today. Norm, is there any news behind it that is worth mentioning on this one?
So well, this is a shell company, kind of like NKLA did, and merged with another shell company, therefore taking it public without the really traditional IPO process. So this one is a shell company that the Tattooed Chef is going to be integrating with. So that's about all I'm seeing on that.
Okay, so we'll see, guys. Couple of funky daily candles here. Again, this thing was I would never touch something like this. Now it's starting to look a little bit better. It's getting some volume, creating some better candles. So there could be some opportunities there, but definitely not the type of stock that we usually like to see on our watch list. BYND, guys, right on here. Let's get rid of some of these levels.
And also one heads up on that FMCI. Finviz has 20.7 million share float. not FinViz, excuse me. Trade Ideas 20.7 million. FinViz has 1.89. So significant disparity there.
Yeah, that's a big difference there for sure. Here is BYND up next, guys. This one is has a beautiful daily. You see a nice little pop here. We've been consolidating over the last couple of days. Possible breakout above this pre-market high that we had, or high of 2 days ago, right on here. This was yesterday, so it's got some potential, guys. A nice little pop here. As far as volume, we have 148 right now. We are up 3%, and BYND can definitely get going. So yesterday, big drop to start off the day. Did recover a little bit towards the end, and today we're back up towards these highs from yesterday. So interesting to see what BYD is going to do today. Going to keep an eye on this one. This one has been trading very well, climbing out of this the lows from 49 bucks all the way up to 150. So doing very well there. And NIO this morning. Yep.
Beyond Meat got a price target increase at Credit Suisse from 90 to 142. Although it still has a neutral rating, it's essentially already there.
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah, pretty late on that. But we see that quite often when we get that type of adjustment, and the stock is already there or slightly above it, like this one is right now. NIO, guys, this one is, again, a stock that has been always very active, very explosive, tons of volume on this one for the most part on a regular daily basis. Right now, 976,000, 1.9, slightly below 2%. Very active pre-market as we usually get from this one. But let's see how it traded at the open, right? Because we usually get some really good volume, but let's see how it actually traded. So we had some drop here, not all that clean, but you could have taken a nice short here if you had inventory for short. On the daily overall, though, it's been very bullish, guys. Look, every time it gets to a consolidation point, it breaks out nicely. Another consolidation point here, much wider than it did before the last two. So you got a beautiful consolidation here, nice breakout candles, and again, kind of putting in starting a consolidation again here. So let's see what's going to do. I know a lot of people like to watch this one, so I'm going to put it on there. We'll do some levels for it. I have not been able to trade this one successfully. A little difficult for me to read the price action, but we'll do some levels for it today. All right, let's see what's gapping down, guys. So we have this one here, DSS this morning. This one is down 18%, but it is a 1.7 million shares float. The daily is also horrible. Just if you're looking at the way this is trading, I'm just going to stay away from this one, guys. It's nothing pretty about
secondary anyway.
Yeah, so nothing pretty about this. All right, here it is, guys. UONE. Now this U1, whatever this is, this has been just incredible over the last 2 days, right? We had the first pop here going from $1 over to 6, then from 6.5 over all the way up to 40, coming back down to 28. And if you look at the action yesterday, a couple of halts on the way up, consolidated, and then a beautiful breakout towards the close here yesterday. So again, a stock that's trading very wild, but look at the flow here, guys. We're talking about 920,000 as the flow. So a very risky stock to trade. Yeah, less than $1 million. A very risky stock to trade. Norm, what is the news causing this all this ruckus on U1? Are we aware of anything that's actually decent?
I wish I had the answer for you, man.
Yeah, so again, no news on this popping this way. Again, I'm not even going to put it on my list, guys. It's not worth it. I traded this before when I first started trading, and I got, the shirt ripped off my back. So just staying away from it. Not saying that you cannot make money and catch opportunities, but you have to be that type of trader, right? So if you're starting out and this is not your niche, just stay away from it. And if it is, if you're working on this and you're taking small shares, then by all means, just please be very careful. Don't hurt your account in trading something like that. IFRX this morning, this one is down 13%. What is the float on this? 15 million shares flow. Also, not a great pre-market activity, guys. Look what's happening here right now. I got some pops and some drops, and again, it's just very choppy. And for the most part, their daily is also pretty horrible. So again, I'm not inclined to look at this one either, so I'm going to skip on it. Go ahead.
This is on a COVID drug test. It's a German company, low float. I won't be looking at this.
Yeah, so it's German as well. It's not even it's international. So yeah, we'll skip on that. Foreign, that's the word I'm looking for. AVAO, guys, this one okay pre-market activity. Again, we're not seeing great pre-market action, and a lot of it is because the SPY is pretty much flat right now. So a lot of these companies kind of moving sideways. We talked about United earlier. I'm just going to show you this one, right? So if you look at United, you have 800.
AVAO is a secondary as well.
Secondary. All right, so we'll move on to the next one. Thanks, Norm. If you look at United, right, they got some volume, 823,000, but they're just kind of wrapping themselves around the previous day close, pretty much flat. For this, let me remove these levels for this pre-market action, just pretty much flat right now, right? Similar to what the SPY is doing. So a lot of these companies just kind of waiting to see what is the next move on the SPY. Are we going up here? Are we dropping? And I guarantee you, like Andrew mentioned this yesterday, a lot of these companies, you don't need to watch stuff that has its own catalyst. A lot of these companies that have the volume have been trading very well with the SPY, and we've been able to catch some good opportunities, right? So we talk about that in class 2 about finding these stocks in play, that you can find stuff that's moving with the market very well with some good volatility and some good volume, and you can take opportunities. So for example, United is not on our list, but I'm going to watch United. It's not on the gappers list right now, but it does have a good pre-market action. It's got some volume, so I'm going to add this on here for today. We got some cruise lines coming up. NCLH this morning, good volume, man, 2.6 million. This is great. They are down 10% this morning, so taking a bit of a hit, even though the market's not dropping like this. NCLH is definitely in play, guys. I mean, this thing is taking a nice dump here.
They've pushed back their start to sail again to the end of September now. I believe it was in July, maybe.
That was aggressive.
End of July, something like that. Yeah, so they've pushed that back, and it's hit all these CCL, RCL, and CLH are all taking on that news.
Yeah. So again, all looking great, guys. NCLH today having a lot more volume than CCL for whatever reason. They have 2.6. CCL only has 1.1 million shares traded. Either way, they both are great. I'm going to keep NCLH this morning on my list. I think this one is looking rather nice this morning. Great pre-market action. In RCLs, and again, the other cruise lines, I usually do not watch this one. They're lighter on the volume. But for the most part, I have seen members trade this very well also, so you can watch either one of these three or all three and then decide which one's the best one for you to trade. DraftKings is next. DKNG, they are down 3.7, 319,000 right now. Had a nice little bar here 2 days ago, kind of dropping down a bit here. Pre-market action looks good, got some good volume. I think it might be worth watching. Now this one is one that doesn't have a lot of history on it, but I do like the daily way it's forming right now. We're kind of getting into an area of consolidation here, so a possible play either way depending on what it wants to do this morning. So I'm gonna watch this one today. We'll do some levels for it. Let's see what go ahead.
This one could be interesting. They've got a secondary. They are essentially, it's an offering of 14 million new shares. It's total of 33 million shares. 14 million are new, I believe. And the remainder of that are shares to allow current investors to get out before the lockup period. That is on Wall Street, that is a huge signal that the people there think it's overpriced.
Overpriced. Wow, interesting. It's definitely worth watching. We'll get some levels on that as well. A few more, guys. Might as well get through this list here. We have X on here. We haven't seen this one in a bit on this list right now. Pre-market action is not doing all that much. We do have some volume here, 319, but for the most part, not a great pre-market action. Is there any news behind this on X, United States Steel? They are down 3.6.
I have not looked at U.S. Steel this morning. It's
someone mentioned earnings.
I think it was earnings.
Yeah,
no, they reported earnings a while back.
Okay.
I think this is probably on infrastructure stuff that we've been talking about. Maybe I think it got a pop yesterday, maybe, and it's pulling back from that. Check that.
Okay. We got a great question here, and I want to answer this one. Why is low flow more riskier than regular stocks? So Ray Gonzalez is asking us on YouTube, and this is it's a good question. It's important to answer that. Guys, if you look at low flow stock, you have to look at the price action, right? So pick a low flow for today that's moving well. Take NT&T, for example, and maybe trade it in sim and see how many fake outs you get on these type of stocks and the way the swings and the drops are. So what happens is with these low flow stocks, right, if you take a trade here, even with a hard stop, so many times these things get halted and you see a gap up that's huge or gap down that's huge, right? That could put you in a very tough situation. Also, it's a little more difficult to read the price action, and you have to be a lot quicker. Now, if you're a beginning trader and you're just starting out, you don't have those skills just yet. I didn't have those skills. I still don't have those skills to be traded low flow effectively, constantly on a regular basis. So that's something you have to build up. So if you're starting to get into trading, this is not the stuff you want to start with, right? And if you do, you have to follow a specific set of rules. You have to be a focus, a lot more discipline, and the margin for errors are very small. Errors on low flow stocks are going to cost you a lot more. So again, this is why we take cautious in it. And our community focuses on the mid to large flow stocks, and we see how many traders we have that are doing very well just with those stocks. So again, a lot of people look at this and they say, oh, it's up 30%. It's $5. I can buy X number of shares for my buying power. And if it gets up to 7, I can make X load of money. And that's usually the way people look at these, and it's the incorrect way to look at these low flow stocks. So good question there, man. Thank you for asking that. A few more, guys. BKI, excuse me. This one here is down 3.2, 129,000 right now, sitting at the low of this consolidation, which is nice. But for the most part, pre-market is still not doing anything great, even with this 130,000 shares traded. So we can put it on here as a possible, see if it gets better. I do like the daily on it, right? Because we're losing this area of consolidation here. But for the most part, the pre-market is very light right now. But last but not least on our list, we actually went through all of these today. Here's an IQ, guys. IQ was amazing yesterday. It turned out to be a beautiful short. I took this for a short. A lot of members took this for a short as well. And the whole time I kept thinking, Brian will kill me if he knows I'm shorting a strong stock, because I kept hearing Brian in my head, do not short strong stock. And this stock was very strong yesterday, up almost 30%. But again, a nice drop here. And then the SPY helped it push down even further. So again, we'll see what it does today. Possible continuation, guys, on IQ. So I definitely want to keep an eye on this one, see what kind of action we're getting out of it. Oh, Brian, this shorted. Okay.
Quick update on X, excuse me, because I guess it just came out. They provided a update for this quarter of guidance that seemed to be pretty weak, so that's what's caused that to drop.
Okay.
I didn't look at it because there wasn't anything going on with it 20 minutes ago, but.
Gotcha. Yeah, it looks like it's just started to get going here once we started our show, so no chance for you to know what was happening there. But yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on it, guys. Volume's starting to come in now. Hopefully we can build a good pre-market activity. Let's see what we get out of that. Norm, what do you like this morning aside from what we have already?
Still looking around. Cisco reported earnings last night. They were kind of mixed. Their earnings were better than expected. Their revenues were lighter than expected. It may or may not do anything. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to trade. A couple of people keep calling out CAR-V. So
yeah, I see that. There. Yep, I see that in both chats, and also Brian calling this one out. Now this is a great pre-market action.
423%, my lord.
Jesus. What are we getting from? We're leaving $2 here, $2.50. Wow, this is insane. Sitting at 12 already. What's the float on this, by the way? Let's take a look at that. CARV.
1.35 million on Finviz.
Yeah, I got a 3.6. Either way, it's a low flow stock, and you want to be very careful this morning. But if you are going to trade low flows, this is a pretty one right here, guys. This is a great pre-market action. We've got some really good volume. Hopefully, it's a catalyst behind it. It's always great if you could do that. But if not, this is looking very good, guys. So this is one to definitely keep an eye on if you are trading low flows. We'll put this one down here for the low flow team this morning. We'll do some levels for if we get a chance to get down there. But again, looking pretty nice right now, guys. Going from $3 at the low of the pre-market today, already up to $12.88. Okay, let's see what else we have. Let's take a look at our chat room here, guys. Let's see what's going on. So we have CCL. We looked at us on our list. Excellent. BA, also another one that has been very great to watch. BA. Oh, BA is dropping nicely.
You know
here.
What? I completely misspoke. It was Oracle, not Cisco. I confused those two.
Okay.
ORCL. I was thinking Oracle and I said Cisco.
You was in the system area, so you're not that far off. It's all good. So
yeah,
actually, at the close yesterday,
I apologize.
Mike and Brian were looking at this one. I know Mike was said no. It's great what he does at the close, and they go through the earnings and they note down which ones are going to be possibly players for the following day based on their activity last night. And this was one of them. So I know Mike has this one on his list, worth putting on here as a possible. Not doing all that much right now, but was very active last night here after earnings. So we'll keep an eye on that one. We were looking at BA. Yes, so BA is good, guys. Dropping here. Are the airlines dropping with BA as well? Yeah, airlines are starting to drop a little bit. Let's take a look at what the SPY is doing. SPY is starting to come back towards that previous day close. Looks like, so it might be dragging dragging some of these stocks down. So BA, I will keep an eye on that also. That looks good. Let's take a look at Apple, see what they're up to. Apple's strong, guys, up almost 1% right now, not budging much with the SPY starting to drop here. So that's a good sign. Also, their daily looks impressive, guys. Possible continuation here. They had a good day over the last 3 days, and they're getting above. Is this their all-time high on Apple? Yeah. Yep, all-time high probably 4 days ago. We're above that. So again, Apple just continues to rip. This company is just amazing. I'm happy for the guy sitting here at 240 that's still holding this. So good job there. Let's make some room for Apple. Worth watching today. Let's look at Roku. Roku's another one that Roku was a sleeper yesterday, guys. I definitely missed it. Hopefully you caught it. But look at the action on Roku. No pre-market volume at all. Nothing happening. Drops down, comes above VWAP. And I'm not sure if it hit our turbo breakdown. I'll have to check just to make sure that I got to get better at looking at that. But look how nice this went, popped off above the VWAP, came back, retested these levels. Just lovely. Just an amazing day for Roku yesterday. A great one for a continuation today as well. So good job pointing that one out. I'm going to throw Roku on here. And Roku is a great stock to trade. I mean, it can trade very well when it gets a little bit of volume. And we saw that yesterday here. All right, let's go on down. So UONEK. Is this the same thing? I think we looked at that. Yeah, I think we looked at that one. Oh, this one ends with a K. So is it a partner of this one or something? Yeah, so this is a different share class. So another one here, again, very active this morning, but I'll just be careful with this one, guys. Be careful. But yeah, 14 million shares traded right now, so definitely active. All right, guys, what else we have? So Roku is good. That's on our list. Let's see what's going on here. So Roku, someone mentioned possible acquisition by Alphabet, which is Google stuff. That'll be interesting to see. SCMIE. Let's see what's happening there. This one's down 60%, 3 million shares traded right now. So this is down quite a bit. What's the news on this one, guys? I think this is worth watching. So it's a big drop. If it has a catalyst, even better. So let's put this on here, CEMI, and I'm going to check what is the flow on trade ideas on this one also. CEMI 16. It's a little on the lower side. Wish it would have been higher, but for the most part, still very good. I'm going to keep it on here. We might throw it down as a possible or throw it down towards our low flow stock. Nice big drop for them today. They have some news on it. It's great. We do have shares for short.
They had CEMI had a COVID test rejected by the FDA.
Oh, see, that's a good catalyst. So we'll have to see how this plays out. It's down a lot already, guys, 60%. So you got to be cautious, not just be short bias and take this short just because. Want to be very careful in doing that. All right, let's look over in our YouTube chat. We do have some of the similar stocks that have been called out. Mike is calling out Zoom. That's one that we haven't looked at, and Zoom has just been unbelievable, guys. I mean, this stock continues to rip higher. It is continues to break all-time highs. Doing that right now. Already 245 is their all-time high from this pre-market this morning. So I'm inclined to look at something like this that's doing so well while the market is still kind of going sideways a bit. Market dropped already a couple of days ago, and Zoom continues to break new highs. So that's cool. That's cool to see that. All right, what else we have, guys? Roku we looked at. Carve we have. Watts, WATT. What's happening there? Now, this one we have looked at in the past. I think this stock, it's a little bit dangerous, guys. It does this quite a bit where it pops up and it comes and sells back down. Already, went to 560, already at 366. I'm not even going to take a look at this one, guys. But if you decide to look at it, please be very careful. Just look at the daily on this, right? It's just, again, I don't even know what the float is. Let's check the float just to make sure. But Watt is one of those stocks that we have looked at in the past. It's 34 million shares flow, but don't let that fool you. This stock is very risky and very wild to trade, so careful there. All right, let's go over to announcements, guys. We'll come back. We have a pretty good list this morning. I thought it was not going to look this great, but now that things are starting to develop and volume is starting to come in, it's been getting a lot better. We got some, yeah, right, and we got some good continuation from yesterday too on some stocks here. Zoom hitting all-time high, so looking forward to his open. Let's go over to announcements. We'll come right back to these levels.
Yeah, guys, success webinars. It's Wednesday, so tonight you're going to have Peter talking about doubling up, deep dive into trading double top and bottom strategies, how he trades double tops and double bottoms, which he's one of the mods that trades all day in here. So he's got plenty of experience with these strategies. Next week, much anticipated, Thor is going to be talking about how he analyzes volume and price to determine the direction the stock is going to move and take some great trades that Andrew seems to be jealous of. Psychology. Next week, we have Module 5 from our very own Mike B, talking about mental resilience in trading. And then, guys, if you're watching us on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, you'd like to give it a try, you can do so at a discount. Use the promo code PREMARKET24. That'll lower the cost. It doesn't make it free. We don't make it free because otherwise it keeps the non-serious people out. That's why we keep something associated with that. Really the only reason. So you get 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room. You can go to the onboarding class Carlos does every Monday night. Give it a shot. See if Bear Bull Traders is the right community for you. Also, we're just launching our summer discount off lifetime membership. So you can get 40% off the lifetime membership, the one-time payment. Use the promo code Independence40 at checkout, and that will give you that discount. We've also launched our Bear Bull Traders podcast, Talk with Traders. Search Talk with Traders on any of your favorite podcast platforms. You should be able to find it there. We just released the latest version, and hope you guys are enjoying that. I've seen some really good feedback. Also, if you guys have any on that podcast, if you have any suggestions for somebody in the trading community you might like to see on there, we're always open to fresh ideas. So shoot me an email, norm@bearbulltraders.com, and I will discuss it with the team working on podcasts. The afternoon, markets close on Wall Street. Be sure to check out Mike, Peter, and Brian for our closing bell show, 3:30 to 4:15 p.m. Eastern. They'll be doing some trade reviews, market analysis, swing trading analysis, and talking about earnings right after the close. Carlos, I can't hear you, buddy.
Oh, sorry, that's my bad. I had my mic on mute. So let's get to it, guys. Let's go through this list and see what we like this morning. BYND, guys, I think it's a good one right now. I love the way the daily's setting up, possible breakout here. So let's keep an eye on it. Again, this was one that doesn't trade all that well. Something in the pre-market, you could still get great volume and get a nice pop here. NIO, for the most part right now, dropping down. Great pre-market action, some good volume. We do have shares for sure. This could be a good one today. I'm going to keep it. I usually take it off, but I'm going to keep it today. United is good. I love the way it's looking right now. Also, the cruise lines are looking great as well. DKNG. I'm on the fence on this one. You know what? I'm going to move it down as a possible because the ones I looked at right now, we traded them so well that DKNG is one that I haven't really touched yet. So I'm going to go with what's been working, right? Why change that? So we'll go with some other ones on here. IQ was great yesterday. I expect a continuation today out of it also. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one. Here is X. X is starting to develop a good pre-market action, guys. They got some news behind it as well, as Norm mentioned earlier. So I'll keep an eye on that. BA, I'm going to remove BA I'm going to move it down as a possible, just to make room. I am watching some of the airlines like United right now. So BA, United, Delta, Save, all these companies tend to move the same direction for the most part, unless there's a specific catalyst to that company. Right now, there is not. These guys are just moving along with the market. So I'm going to watch. I'm going to keep an eye on United. That has been very, very good for us. Here's Apple. Apple's is very strong this morning, up 1.1. So worth watching, something that's going against the market a little bit. Has been for a very long time, as you can see here, trading very well. Here's Roku. Roku's a potential one. CEMI. I'm going to remove this one, guys. Just not my type of stock. Has a nice big drop here. We do have shares for sure. Could be a good one, but again, just not one that I like to focus on. But we will have it on our secondary list here. Let's keep it on there. And Zoom, another company that has been doing so well. It's worth keeping an eye on. So let's do some levels for these. We're not going to keep all of them. I like to watch between 5 to 6 stocks only, but I think all these are great players for today, depending on how many stocks you want to watch or what is your favorite or not. You can select from these here. Looking at BYND, plenty of levels towards the bottom. You got tons of support down here. Do not need to add any more towards the bottom. Towards the top, your pre-market high at the moment is at 158.30, 158.40. So let's mark that. Then slightly above that on the daily, you do have kind of an area here has been tested quite a bit, 161.54, and then slightly above that 162.97. So great resistance here over these 3 days. Came back down, has found a way to crawl back up towards this area. So possible play there on BYND. Let's hope this pre-market action gets better. If it doesn't, we can throw it down to our secondary list, and we can look for this one in our scanners. NIO this morning dropping down, going green to red here, so going below the previous day close. Let's see if it's going to hold this previous day close line or if we're going to drop. As far as levels, look how great the last 2 trading days have created some good levels here. Highs and lows got you covered for the most part around the price action this morning. Looking in here, I don't even see anything that we have to mark. Maybe the low down here of this consolidation area. This is great support. This 561, great area of support here, nicely bouncing off of that. And then if towards the top here, maybe a possible minor area of support could be the opening, the closing of this day at 883. You also have this being tested here on this week. Nice rejection there. Aside from that, guys, do not need to add any more on NIO. So good volume right now as usual, 1.5. But again, remember, this type of stock trades very, very heavy on volume. You can already see the ask piling up, and take a look at the open, right? When you see the bid and the ask, how much orders are sitting around this price action. Here is United, guys. One of our favorite stocks to watch during this whole pandemic. Has been really good to take advantage of. So right now, low of the pre-market 39.33 towards the bottom, guys. Great support right on here from the low of 2 days ago. Towards the bottom of that, another nice drop here at 32.34. Great support there. In between here, you do have some opening and closing right on here around 37.79. So I'm going to mark that. There's some minor support. Your major one is this one here, the low from 2 days ago, and obviously this one on here. Look how it comes down right to that 32.34, which happens to be prior resistance, right? And if we go back even further, that 32.34, I mean, that's a solid line, guys, being tested several times. 4 days here, could not break out from that. Comes back down, comes one more time to test it, very close to it again here before we had this beautiful breakout. So that 32.34, a very powerful support line there. Towards the top, previous day close, highs and lows, and then once you break out of this area, it'll take a lot of strength to do that. We're going to get over to 44.61 will be the next area where you can have a good support line, resistance right on there. NCLH also trading very well, stuck between the highs and lows right now. We got plenty of resistance towards the top. This was dropping very nice, guys, 10% based on news of them pushing back their opening dates or their new booking dates. So low of the pre-market 18.65 right now. Towards the bottom, we do have this beautiful area of support here, guys. So that was prior resistance as well, very similar to United, right? You drop down here to that 16.44. Some good support consolidation happening here between these two levels, and if you scroll back, you can see how many times we tested this 16.44 here and here as well. So a good level there, guys, and some good levels towards the top as well. I definitely like the way this is trading. A lot more volume than CCL this morning, but CCL is looking very good as well. You cannot go wrong with either one. Here is IQ, guys, possible continuation. Their pre-market action, though, although 411, not looking all that great, but I'm hoping that they're going to get something going here. As far as levels, highs and lows got you covered right now towards the top and bottom. Previous day close very high to the pre-market high. You can mark it if you want. Pre-market high sitting at a 24. Previous day close 10 cents above that. So again, not much difference there. But if we do decide to lose it here and loses the low from yesterday, we do have a possible nice run we can get to. We're at 21.24 and all the way down here, guys, at 19.93. So I'm going to move this down to a possible, because right now the pre-market action is not giving us anything all that crazy, but I will be looking for this one to hit our scanners, because I think there's a possible continuation play there. Maybe not right at the open, but maybe a little bit later as things start to develop and things start to pick a direction. Here is X, another one that is probably going to make my my secondary list. Highs and lows over the last 2 trading days got you covered. Previous day close, we're down 4.6 right now. The pre-market low at this moment 9.86. So let's mark that down. If we lose that, we got some potentials here from the last 2 trading days. So again, another one that's looking really good, possible continuation play here towards the bottom, but I'm going to move this one down because right now it's just the pre-market. We see some better ones up here that we have based on our list. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple very strong, again, consolidating nicely here in the pre-market. We have tested this pre-market high at 356. right? Several times, right? She's been banging our heads against that. So looks like we might want to take another shot at it again. That is your all-time high for Apple right now. So we'll have to see how that's going to play. I'm looking forward to seeing this blow through that. And if we can get that going, we can possibly have a nice momentum play there. Towards the bottom, plenty of levels, guys. Do not need to add any more highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Also, previous days close got you covered for the last days that we have been consolidating in here before we came back towards the all-time high. Here's Roku, guys. Possible breakout and continuation play. Had a great day yesterday. I mean, just look at the action yesterday. Traded very nice. Pre-market action was non-existent for this one. Dropped here and just took off, as we mentioned earlier. So possible continuation play for them today. The low of the pre-market at 18.78. So let's mark that down right here, 18.78. And then towards the top, high of the pre-market already has been up to 129.49. So again, just kind of flirting with this previous day close line. Let's see if it's going to get back up there, or are we going to start losing it a bit here this morning. If we lose this 18.79, we do have a great level on here, guys, 116.20. So let's mark that down. Great area of consolidation of support for these couple of days here, and also some good resistance on this day here before we drop back down. Here is Zoom. Zoom, guys, pre-market not all that great, very light on the volume. So another one that we can move down, but this one you want to keep a close eye on as well. Maybe not right at the open, but this has been very strong over the last couple of days. Just look at the daily, how great this looks. Plenty of levels towards the bottom. Another stock like Apple that's also hitting all-time highs and continue just to rip. Every consolidation is followed by a very nice wide body candle. I mean, this thing is looking pretty neat this morning. So we'll see. Hopefully this pre-market can get more action. If not, hopefully can get some action after the open, and we can take some good trades and opportunities on this one. All right, guys, that is what we have. Norm, anything else that you like besides what we have covered?
No, I think we've been through it all, man.
Yep. Let's go through some of the possibles I threw on here. So some people say I skipped a few. NKLA, actually I took that one off my list, right? Oh, here it is on the top. Okay, NKLA. So yeah, this was on here, guys. This is looking very good, by the way. Yeah, I think this is worth watching. I'm going to remove some levels here. So highs and lows over the last 2 trading days got you covered. The pre-market high, let's mark that down at 67.75. And then towards the bottom, we do have the previous day close and highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. So looking pretty good right now, guys. Definitely worth watching. FMCI, we skipped this one. Highs of the pre-market sitting at 18.75. That's looking good. Low of the pre-market is a 17.78. So great day yesterday. Let's see how it traded. Again, had pretty much a breakout here towards the end, and then continuation into the after hours. So possible continuation today. I'm not so much of a fan of it as the rest of the stuff that I have on here, so I'm going to bring this one down also. Again, I will keep we have a lot of possibles today. Any of these ones on here could be a great trade, but for the most part, I'm not going to watch this one right at the open. So we have NKLA, which is good, very active. BYD could be a sleeper today. NIO also going green to red this morning. Unite is one of my favorites. NCLH is one of my favorites as well. Apple's looking good, very strong. And also we have Roku here, kind of a possible continuation today after a strong day yesterday. All right, let's take a look at what our moderators are watching. We have Brian. He likes SAFE, CCL, NTN, UONEK, so not the one without the K. This is the one with the K, and he's also watching CXW. So that's Brian's list this morning. Here's Thor's list. He's watching NCLH, CCL, SAFE on his watch list. Just those three. All those three look very good, by the way. Here's Peter's list. He's watching X, which we had X on our list, right? We have it as a possible. It's just way too many. So he's watching X, United, and American Airlines. Secondary list, AMD, SQ, SAVE, CARV, and also UONEK. So those are 2 low flow stocks, by the way, so be very careful with those. Here's Jared's list. He's watching Netflix. What's Netflix up to? We haven't not looked at that one in some time. Netflix breaking out nicely here. Great, beautiful daily as well. Netflix consolidation happening here below 435, and now a nice breakout up 1.4. So that's good with some decent volume starting to get going. Here's NCLH. Also, he has on his list, and also Apple for a possible options play. So great stuff, guys. We have a lot to look forward to this morning. It started off a little weak. I didn't think we were going to get such a great watch list, but it picked up, and we are ready and set to go here. So, guys, thank you so much on YouTube for joining us. We appreciate you guys being here. We know you have options, so we appreciate you guys hanging out with us this morning, preparing for the trading day. And we will see you again at 3:30 today, and also for the lifetime membership webinar that will be at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Looking forward to that one with Peter this evening. Take care, guys. Stay safe. We'll see you
Jam-packed
tomorrow.
day.
What was that?
Take care, guys. Jam-packed day.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Take care, guys.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.